Hello everyone, this is ICB, and after a few months of work, it's finally here, the open source version of a GTO post-flop solver for Texas Hold'em, and you can download it from the link I will put in the video description. And if you download the download button, you're going to a page where you can download the software release according to your operating system. So if you're a Windows user, you can download this link here. So it's pretty easy, and you can view the project's source code in GitHub, and there's a lot of stuff here, including its installation guides and license, and some common Q&As. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And you can join our discussion by the link here. So let's cut the crap and run the software. So let's say you download the Windows package here, like I do, and you're going to notice there's two exe file here. There's a console solver.exe and there's a GUI solver.exe. The console solver is used for programmers, so I guess most of us must be regular users who is not familiar with code, so we just double click this one here, and the solver interface pops out. Well, there's a lot of stuff here. We are going to dive not very much into the details, but that's going to give you a example of a flop situation and how to use this solver to solve this situation. Okay, let's say we're playing Sex Max and we are at the button here, and UTG in pre-flop, he bet 2.5 BB, and we are maybe we have a very good hand, so we raise to 8.5 BB and UTG call. So in this situation, what are we going to do to use this software to to solve this situation for us? Okay, that's the first thing we want to do is to select both players' range. Let's select OOP's range here. The solver itself is embedded with some range files, as you can see on the right. Let's click one of them and click UTG 2.5 BB and BTN BTN 8.5 BB and UTG call. So we arrive at this node where we can see a BTN range and a UTG range, and since we are choosing the OOP file, which is the OOP players range, which is the player first to bet in post-flop, so that's gonna be, I don't know, that's the I think that's gonna be UTG who goes first, right? So let's select UTG player here. Yeah, let's select UTG player here. After we select the range for UTG player, we are going to select the range for ourselves, which is the button player, right? We took the same betting sequence and select the BTN range here, right? Right, and confirm. Oh, now we have both players' range. The next thing we want to do is to hint the solver what kind of board we have in post-flop situation. And we want to change the pot and effective stack sizes, and change maybe bet sizes and raise sizes and all that. And then we can hit build tree to let the solver give us a tree, a game tree that it's gonna solve, and we can click estimate solving memory button here to ask the solver to give us a rough estimation of the memory it's gonna use. If the tree is too big, you might not you might not be able to run it in your computer. So it is a very important step. and I almost take the step every time. So after we build the tree, we can press start solving button here, and the solver is running. And in case we want to save all the parameters we just inputted, we can click the export parameters button here to save the settings we just inputted. So that's change the file name a bit and export it. Okay, now it shows save success. We can see a new txt file is here, right? Let's click some other parameters that we created earlier. So as you can see, the interface is changed because we select other parameters, right? And we can click the parameters we just exported. As you can see, the parameters has, just the way it is when we save them. So it's pretty simple. You can export and import parameters like that. It's a lot convenient than you have to, input them every time, right? So we can, click the show result button and let the solver show us the so-called optimal strategy, right? So let's see what is the optimal strategy in this situation, in the flop situation. Let's say we have a QQ, in your hand. So the solver told us that we probably should just check everything we got, including this QQ hand, right? So we now know that in a Nash equilibrium situation where both player is playing the best strategy as he can, our best strategy is that we check in flop, right? And we can see the strategy for other hands that we might have, other hands like A9, like A5, and we can see their values or EVs. So we can see the in this graph there's a green part, there's a red part. The red part means these cards, these hands have a negative EV. The green grid shows that some hands have a better EV or a positive EV, and there's the range here. And we can traverse the entire game tree to see in each node what is the optimal strategy. That's very simple to use, right? And that's about it about the solving part. And we can export our strategy after solving it by clicking strategy and export to JSON. So after clicking that, you give the solver a save file name and where to save it, and click save. Okay, now it has been saved. Now what does this dump round 2 means? We can click solver setting to change it. There's 3 options, 1, 2, and 3. When you set it to 1, it means you just want to export the strategy for flop. When it's set to 2, it means you want to save the output strategy for flop and turn. When it's 3, it means you want to save strategy for flop, turn, and river. And when it is set to 3, it's probably going to be very, very slow for the saving process to go. So I would recommend to leave it at 2. For most of the users, we just cannot memorize everything to river. It's insane, So after we save the JSON file, how can we read it? Sadly and ironically, we cannot use the GUI to read it for now. I haven't write the code. It's planned in the future, but we cannot do it now. So how do we read it? I would recommend to use Firefox, the browser, right? For reading the JSON file. We just drag the JSON file in, and it's going to read. Okay, now it's read the result. Let's compare it with our GUI. At this root node, if we have 2D, 2C, that means we have a pair of two in our hands. What is our strategy? The solver GUI shows us that the optimal strategy is to bet with probably 95% of probability, right? And the save file gives us the same result, which means the save file is valid or it is correct. It's basically how to use the solver in a 10 minutes video. So I hope you enjoy. If you encounter any problem using this solver, you're welcome to to post an issue or leave a comment at the video or whatever. Hope you enjoy this video. Bye bye.